Thursday Learnday. All right, everybody, welcome to Thursday Learnday. Today, going to be talking about the music purchases that I've made over the last, about a year and a half, and just kind of going back through them and seeing what I think about those purchases, and if I think they were good purchases, if I think they were worth what I spent on them, how useful I think they were, and I just thought this would be kind of a fun way to, a fun Thursday Learnday to do. So let's go through it. I went through and got screenshots of all the music purchases I made on Amazon. There were a few here and there that weren't on Amazon, but most of them were made on Amazon. And well, that's the easy way to access, pictures and all that. So we've got a good list of different things, and also the reason to do it this way is because these are things that you can go online and buy. And so there's a few things on here in particular that I just think if you're in music, you probably use these items, and this is probably what you want to buy. There's one in particular that. But let's get into it. So the first thing is this guitar cable. I bought two of these. It's the GLS Audio guitar cable. It's 20. I got a 20-foot long, two of them. And when was that purchase made? Well, I bought them a while ago. These were probably one of the earlier purchases, and they've held up. They're both still totally functional. They're great. They're also distinct, which I like because they're easy to see among other people's cables or even among my own cables. And so I just use them as guitar instrument cables, and I don't use them for anything else. So when I see that cable on the out there, I know exactly what it is. Let's move on. The price, let's see. The price is $16.99 for a 20-foot cable. I think that's it's not some insane deal, but it's fine. So I think it's a good cable, and I think the value is there. I think it's a fine value. All right, let's move to this one. This is a ukulele, and so this is the Donner Acoustic Electric Ukulele. Concert size with a built-in tuner, solid top mahogany, 23-inch electric ukulele beginner kit. It's got a sticker, it's got picks, it's got a bag, it's got a strap, it's got wipes, and beginner video lessons. Okay, I didn't use the wipes or the video lessons, but I used everything else. I think it comes with some strings too, but I can't see that in the picture. But what I'll say about this is, it's a fine ukulele, especially acoustically, and the idea that you can get a new ukulele for this, there's a coupon there, save $15, so a total of $60, an acoustic electric ukulele. I think that's insane. So I had another ukulele, and I wanted to get an acoustic electric one because I was being hired to record ukulele, and so I wanted to be able to run direct. I thought that'd be also cool to implement it into my shows and run it direct. Now what I found is it needs a lot of EQing. The one that came to me, it doesn't I think it's the high E string just doesn't go through very well, and you really have to crank the treble to EQ it. So that that's not great. So I don't know how usable it is, but if you EQ it really, really hard, maybe you get some good sounds. I still got to experiment with it. Essentially, I just decided, probably it's going to be a real challenge to get a good sound in a live setting, and so I'll just use it for fun and recording. I did end up recording a track with it that sounded really good, so there's that. All right, let's move on to these other ones here. Preview. All right, so these I just got recently. And I got these because I was losing guitar picks all the time, and I was just running out of guitar picks. One thing I realized, I like heavy guitar picks. That's what I use on the acoustic guitars. I've kind of cycled through different kinds of guitar picks. At first, I just wanted to do nothing but finger picking, just use my fingers, use the natural sound from that. But then in the long run, I realized you can do way more with a heavy guitar pick. That's just what I think. But yeah, these are great. Put them at proper angles on your guitar where they're easy to access. And when you're done playing, you just put it right back in. You lose less guitar picks. They're right there if you need them. So if you drop one, boom, there's another one right there on your guitar. I think that's pretty sweet. Okay, here is the amazing purchase. This is the one that, like, all right, so Samson BL3 VP boom stand and cable pack. I think when I bought this, it was $60. It's $68, still an absolutely insane value. So if you've bought mic stands before, you know that there is a range of what you can get in a mic stand, and you know that there are mic stands that are really annoying to deal with. These ones are amazing, and so at about $19 a piece, they can extend they can suit people that are very tall. I run an open mic where the stage is not that big, and we've started putting a drum set on it, and so there's just barely enough space to stand, and so we end up running the mic stands sitting on the floor, and the stage comes up a bit, and maybe like 6 to 7 inches. I gotta respond to my wife real quick about fishes. Yes, I fed the fish. Okay. 3 at 19, about $20 a piece. That in and of itself, because of what these stands are, is a great value. On top of that, you're getting a bag, which I didn't use. I think I threw it away. And 3 mic cables. That just makes this value insane. I don't know that the mic cables are great quality or anything, but I've been using these for a while now. They're 3 20-foot long cables. It's just insane. You could spend that much just on mic cables. So for $68, this is an incredible value. The stands are great. They've got a heavy base. They can extend high. They've got multiple ways to extend. Everything works like it. They're just great stands. If you get them, you'll see all the joints are very functional, very useful. They're going to last a while. I mean, so yeah. This is the purchase of the whole thing, I believe. All right, here we go. We got a mini guitar effect power supply. I was running rechargeable batteries in my pedals for a while, and I just had my pedals die on me in the middle of performances, and so obviously that couldn't go on that way. So I decided to get this direct power. As you can see, it's got a 5-star rating. I don't have any experience with other power supplies, but I will say that this has worked great. The cable is reasonably long, so I can connect it to power. Sometimes I run extension cables, sometimes I don't. But yeah, it works great, and I've been using it for probably about 5-6 months now with no problems. Here's another good one. $75 for this Cajon. I just bought it on Amazon based on reviews. I think it's a great instrument. I'm really happy with this Cajon. I've used it in live shows. I've used it in a band setting where I threw an SM58 on the back of it, and I had people from the audience coming up and telling me how amazing, including other musicians that had performed that night, played at a sort of an outdoor music festival, and they were saying how amazing the Cajon sounded, and they were wanting to know about my mic technique or whatever, and literally all I did was just take this Cajon and put an SM58 behind it, and I don't know what I'm doing with that. I know you put it a little bit outside the sound hole is probably best, so you get the bass, and it picks up the snare sound reasonably as well. But also, it can get pretty loud, and sometimes, even if you can really beat on this thing. I think it has a great snare sound, and yeah, when you mic it, the bass sounds great. So I've had a bunch of compliments on this Cajon, and it's just a fun Cajon to play. I've played a number of Cajons. I've played djembe drums. I really think this is a good Cajon. So then I'll just read that out in case the text is small. It's a pile string Cajon, wooden percussion box with internal guitar strings, full size. All right, here's another great one. Okay, this one, the Tambourine. So I wanted to get a couple of different hand instruments. I'm a big believer in instruments of all kinds. Anything that makes noise, it has a purpose, and it can be used. And You just got to learn how to use it. Tambourines obviously have a ton of history. They're known to be very useful, so there's no really debating the tambourine. Although people might think tambourines are a little bit gimmicky or something, and they don't get used in a full band setting or whatever. But that's silly. Of course they do, and they're great. They're amazing instruments. Just like kind of harmonicas are amazing instruments, because all you got to do is blow and you get good notes, and you can play a harmonica right out of the box without ever having played a harmonica before. You can play a harmonica. So that's why it's an amazing instrument. The sound is kind of iconic, and it can play with all sorts of different kinds of music. They're very easy to transport, so you can just show up with harmonicas in your pocket and join a band on stage. It's an amazing instrument, and I think these tambourines are amazing instruments as well. But looking at getting tambourines, the tonality of the tambourine is important, and there are some maybe kiddie tambourines that just don't put out a sound that is so useful. And so when you're looking at cheap tambourines, you might make a purchase that then when you play it, it's just like it's very unsatisfying to play. It can't put out enough volume, or the sound is kind of tinny. And some of the reviews on this one, when I got it, it was $9. Okay, it's gone up $1. $10 for a tambourine. Some of the reviews were saying it's kind of tinny, but I think most of the reviews, you're getting tons of 5-star reviews because you can't beat the value. It's a $10 tambourine, so if it works reasonably well, you can't really review it less than 4 or 5 stars. So that said, the REVUE, if I'm pronouncing that right, 9-inch double row tambourine, metal jingles, handheld percussion cutaway design. For me, it's not the most comfortable thing to hold. I think the hand design, I think it's meant to be held in a certain way, and in that way it's fine, but I prefer holding it a different way, and then it's a little bit uncomfortable. But that said, I don't know what people were complaining about with the tinny sound. To me, the sound is totally useful. Maybe it's not the most perfect that a tambourine could ever be, but it sounds really good to me, and it's very useful. It adds a great vibe. It's loud. So I don't even have to mic it when I've got guitar amps and a PA blasting and a drum set going. The tambourine just acoustically is still loud enough to contribute to the atmosphere. So yes, awesome tambourine. I don't think that there's any reason. If you just need to add a tambourine to the mix, get this one. It's $10, and I think it's totally. The materials are good. It's going to last a long time. It's awesome. All right, here we go. This thing revolutionized. Now I want to say that, but this has helped me out so much. This is a key component of my solo acoustic setup. The Bosch Vocal Harmonist Effects Processor Stomp Box Guitar Pedal. I just use it for harmonies. I don't use it for any of those effects. I just overall decided I don't really like the effects, but I love the harmonies, and I run my guitar through it so I can get harmonies based on the key and based on my guitar. You can create memories for different setups or different you can create memories for your key, but also for different harmony settings, and I think that's great. You need another pedal to trigger them, but if you want to do that, it does help diversify what you're doing. But I think the harmonies are great, and another really cool thing is you can run a condenser microphone off of this, and so this has a power supply that it provides to the condenser microphone, and so that's what I do. I use a KMS 105, and it's awesome. The harmonies, it just makes your live set as a solo performer, just gives you more versatility and fills out that sound. You can even do 3-part harmonies, which I use on my original song Cancun, or if I'm doing Little Surfer Girl by the Beach Boys, get that harmony wall, and I think it's cool. Even if it's not perfect, here we go with the 100-pack clear disposable ear protectors, waterproof ear covers for hair dye, shower, and bathing. So you might be asking yourself, how is this music related? And here's how. When COVID hit, people were very anxious about going out. and in different areas you couldn't go out, but in some areas you still could. And when it comes to music, and in particular, I was hosting an open mic. People were very skeptical about sharing microphones. So this is basically a disposable microphone cover, and we just have them there. When it's one performer's turn to perform, they grab a shower ear cover and put it over the microphone, and now you don't have to worry about COVID or getting COVID from the microphone. So that was the idea. It does also add an effect to your vocals. As you might imagine, singing through a thin layer of plastic, it kind of makes things like a little grittier or something. It's like putting a filter on your vocal. So not necessarily it's a unique filter, but something maybe you want to experiment with sometime. I don't know, but that was a purchase. All right, this table, I'm gonna do this Office Star Resin multi-purpose rectangle table, 4 feet long, height adjustable, $75. Not the cheapest purchase, but it functions really well as a merch table. And one of the coolest things is it folds up, and you can carry it by a handle. It folds up into almost like a suitcase-looking thing, and it's very easy to carry. And then there's a cover that I'll display later, a black cover to go over it. Then you've got a nice looking table that you can use at private events, at weddings, or whatever, and it looks great to display your merch, or to set, for example, the Boss RC505. Highly recommend this. I ended up selling it because I decided not to go so hardcore into looping. I just decided looping wasn't my end game. But it's an amazing looper, and what you can do with this device is just incredible. And you can run a foot switch with it. You can set some loops that they will loop together, and so you can create sort of different dynamics in your song. And then you can also create or different layers to your song that you can trigger different layers at different times and have them all play together or have them play separately. You can also set up tracks that will only play by themselves and trigger them to play at the end of a loop, or to switch at the end of the loop to a different track. And so then you can create movements in your songs. There's tons of effects within the system. You've got a guitar to bass, or an octaver that's built in. You got a whole bunch of different cool effects. I feel like the effects overall weren't what I really wanted from my music. I think it's maybe more in an electronic music direction. That said, still, I'm sure there's a whole lot that you could get out of it that would be very useful to an acoustic setup. But the most amazing thing is just the number 5 tracks and how you can transition from one to the next and implement a foot pedal. Just an amazing piece of equipment. It's $500, not cheap. And like I said, I ended up selling it, but I'm almost tempted to buy it again these days. All right, this one was another COVID purchase. Fifine wireless microphone system, wireless microphone set with headset and lavalier lapel mics. I'm actually selling this right now, and I just realized, this is what an insane deal this is, okay? This is the other deal. Like, if you want to, this deal rivals that mic stand deal. If you are looking for a wireless headset, I think this is the one. I don't know, like, for doing speeches, but for singing, this was phenomenal. I just listed it on Facebook, and I think I put it for like $60 or $75. I can't remember, because now I'm looking at it. It says $44, $44.99, $45. I can't believe this. The vocal quality through this thing is really, it's not my KMS or maybe even my Sennheiser E835. It's not to that wired level, but it is. I've heard plenty of wireless mics, not some kind of insane amount, but I've never really liked the sound of wireless mics. This mic was able to capture, while it's not pristinely clear, and it feels like it is a little bit of a degraded sound, just a little bit, not much, it still preserves your actual vocal tone. Like, you can still feel that you can still understand the uniqueness of the voice, and the vocal quality is really good. It is way beyond what I would have ever expected at $45. And so for $45, you're not just getting a headset microphone, you're also getting a lapel microphone, which I think the headset microphone is better. You're getting a transmitter and a receiver, all for $45. And then even if the quality wasn't good, that's still a remarkable feat that they can provide all that technology for $45. And then on top of it, the vocal quality is actually really good. So the reason I'm selling is because now that COVID's gone, I got this partly for COVID, so I can just plug a 1/4-inch receiver into an open mic host mixer or a host's mixer, and then I'm good to go, and I don't have to use anybody else's mic. It's battery powered, runs off transmitters like AAA's. The receiver is AAA's, transmitters AA's, I think. Might be all AAA's. But awesome piece of equipment. All right, here's the tablecloth for that table. As you can see, it just turns into a nice event table. Lastly, I think this is the last thing. It is. This is the RC1 Boss Looper. Like I had the Boss 505, decided to get rid of it. This serves the looping I think if you're an acoustic solo performer, probably have this. It has a huge memory bank. You can manipulate the volume level of your loop. It's very easy to use, and it's going to last a long time. So I think it's awesome, and I think probably every solo performer should have a basic looper there. It just increases what you're able to do. So, all right, that's it. Thank you for tuning in to the Thursday Learnday, and hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for checking out. Peace out. Rock on. Surf's up. See you guys later. Peace out.
Las playas del Carmen y Tulum, Sinote, Ukulele. Estamos feliz y perdido en quesadilla, quesadilla, quesadilla.